So I just finished reviewing the Rebel deck and the Couples Rebel deck, and today we're going to now go over Rebel deck, an oracle game of intuition and divination. The game, a thick-ass deck full of fun and phrases. Play with yourself, play with others. So, for those of you who did not watch the last video of the Rebel deck review, before I get started, warning, 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 disclaimer, there will be a lot of swearing. I can pretty much guarantee it. I haven't used these in a while. But no, I'm absolutely positive. Knowing these, knowing the Rebel deck, yes, there will be swears. So if you have kids in the room, you may want to put on headphones or watch this later. If you're offended easily by that kind of language, this is not the video for you. This is not the deck for you. And that's about it. I've put out the fair warning. So the back of the box says Rebel deck. The game is a hybrid oracle deck focused on spirituality, self-development, and truth bombs. This unique deck of 12 cards uses relatable fill-in-the-blank scenario cards, in-your-face answer cards. Pull from the scenario deck, then pull from the answer deck. Put them together, and your reading might be insightful, inspiring, or insulting. But again, I mean, if you're easily offended, this is not the deck for you. Created in the classic phrase-matching format, this versatile and interactive deck can be used solo or played in a small group with close friends. You can even use the game with other divination decks. And in true Rebel deck style, the language is always real and raw. So again, there's that warning. This can be fun to do as a virtual thing with friends. You can pull them question cards and then the answer cards. It's not quite the same, but these days we have to adapt. So, and if you're interested in doing that kind of question and answer card thing, maybe live some night, let me know. We could make that happen. Okay, so the box, for the people who love boxes, this is kind of a flimsy, just basic kind of playing cards box. There's really not much to it. It's easily crushed. So if that is an issue for you, there is your fair warning. I don't keep the boxes generally. I did keep this box just so the cards are not everywhere because they are rather small. So they kind of like just move around a bag a lot. So they're rather small, which I don't mind because it's easy to throw into a little bag and take out with you to the park or wherever you may be going. So it comes with game directions, but I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's really no need for it. It basically is just telling you how to play if you want to play in a group setting, like how to make the points and all of that. So this is what you get. You get two distinct piles of cards, one being the scenarios card, one being the answer card. There is no artwork. So another thing for people who are big on images. So basically how it works is you would pick up a scenario card first. I picked up, I am ready to manifest abundance and prosperity. Blank will get me in alignment. Now, to find out what that blank is, the answer for that, I would pick up the answer card. Getting over my own bullshit. Totally makes sense. I didn't even shuffle and I should have, but still totally makes sense for me. I have been, so as I've mentioned before, hung up on wanting things to be a certain way that I haven't either been starting things like I started this channel in May, and I'm just now in the, end of January, beginning of February, putting videos onto it. And even with teaching dance and things like that, I've been letting my fear of rejection, of putting a lot of time, work, and energy into something to have it not well received. And, I'm not even giving myself the chance to see, like put it out there and see how would it be received. I'm just assuming already that it might not be received well because it's not perfect. So that's the problem with the kind of world that we live in today, is we do get so caught up on things being perfect because we see a lot of perfect. We see a lot of, highlight reel, and we don't see a lot of real, So anyway, the scenario cards, the pile is just a tiny bit less than the answer cards. So I don't know if you can notice that, but it's just a tiny bit smaller. So you get just a little bit less scenario cards than you do answer cards. That's normal. If you notice that when you get your deck, if you buy one. So we have 2 scenario cards. Let's shuffle out 2 answer cards. So what are the answers? Oh, geez, okay. All right, so we have our 2 scenarios and our 2 answers. First scenario is, I need to move my ass. Oh, isn't that the truth? But first, blank would make me feel better. Chanting, praying, or repeating positive affirmations. And it's funny because, yes, back in the day when I used to work out religiously, like every single day, sometimes like twice a day, not in some crazy, like dripping sweat fashion, but more like dancing, hula hooping, like going jogging or taking my bike out, things like that. I used to have all these positive mantras that I would tell myself to get myself, in the mood to want to start this activity. Because sometimes, let's face it, it's just more tempting to sit around and watch Netflix. And it did make a difference to me, because over time, not right away, but over time, you start to believe these things you repeat to yourself, whether it's positive things or negative things. If you say it enough, you do tend to start to believe it. Next scenario, I need to get out of my head. Blank could change my outlook. Shutting my mouth and listening. So for me, I would say maybe that means for me to hire a coach or, talk to a professional, someone who can help me set up a little bit more of a streamlined system for teaching dance, because, teaching with technology is not what I anticipated when I started thinking about teaching dance back in the day. So I used to teach on and off at some different studios, workshops, and classes, but now, of course, with the pandemic, that's out of the question. That's fine if someone else can do it, but for me, I cannot wear a mask and dance. There's just no way. So now it's teaching virtually, but that has its own challenges. And sometimes if we are running into a brick wall over and over with a situation, it could mean that we need some outside help. I could always improve the quality of my sleep. I got next to none last night. Next to none. I'm only doing this video, well, a bunch of videos today, because this is one thing I enjoy. That is not taxing. It doesn't take a lot of energy. I could always improve the quality of my sleep. Blank would help me rest deeper. Telling them I love them. So maybe spending a little more time off of Facebook and social media and a little more time with my loved ones would give me a little more peace of mind to rest easy at night, knowing my time and my energy was well spent. I am feeling so uninspired right now. Blank should get me motivated. Learning more about my astrology, numerology, or personality type. All right, very cool. So I'm going to start moving through a little faster so that you can get a better idea about this deck. I am in charge of my destiny. Blank would bring me closer to my purpose. Not spending my entire paycheck on shit I don't need. Time is money, right? And you don't want to like just waste your money, which is your time, buying shit you don't need. It's why I've gone very, very minimalistic. As minimalistic as I can be while still being happy and feeling comfortable in my home. I am so close to finishing something. Blank will help me get it done. Lying naked in the grass. So I don't think that's necessarily literal, although it could be if you're lucky enough to have that kind of privacy. Sometimes you have to not take cards literally. Sometimes you have to think about what that could represent, what that could symbolize. Or think about how you feel when you're reading that card or thinking about that statement. A negative pattern keeps showing up from my past. Blank could be the first part clearing it. A good, ugly cry. Absolutely agree. I have so much shit to do. Blank will help me get it done. Cleansing my dirty ass energy. Sometimes we do need a good energy cleanse, either from our own body, our own spiritual self. Could be your home. I know for me, I feel a lot of times just lighter and more peaceful when I go through the house and use my sound bowl. So for you, it might be saging the house. It might be going through the house with a mantra. It may be physically cleaning the space, decluttering, getting rid of things that maybe just don't serve you the way that they once did. Not really in the mood for yoga. Blank would be better. Changing my fucking attitude. I need self-care. I will start by laughing my ass off. I've been watching a shit ton of comedy, stand-up comedy. If you guys, nope, not you guys. I'm working on that. If you all would like to know my playlist of comedians that I recommend that you can find on Netflix or YouTube, let me know. There are some really hilarious people out there. I choose to forgive. Blank will help me start the process. Changing my surroundings. Yes, sometimes, especially now, when a lot of us are stuck in the house a lot for me, what you need is just to get out for a walk or get out, just browse a store, which I know these days is like, ooh. But if you can find a little store that doesn't have much in the way of people in it. I went to a store recently. It was nice to get out. And there was, 2 other people in the whole place. And it felt good just to get out and see something besides my house. I choose to forgive. Blank will help me start the process. Crystals. I need some fucking clarity. Blank will give it to me. Honoring my fabulous body. Blank could cure everything. Sending positive vibes into the universe. Okay, I'll do a few more. Why am I even asking this deck for guidance? Blank would be a better use of my time. Paying attention to my gut feelings. Yes, yes, yes. So many times when people have come to me in the past for a card reading, which I always say, I'm not a medium, I'm not a psychic, I just love cards. I've got 70 something decks and I love to give my advice based off of what comes up in those cards. That's what I do. Anyway, a lot of times I feel like, and I've said this to people, you already know the answer. You already know what to do. It's just, you have to first tap into, your intuition, your gut feeling, what your body's telling you. Just check in with yourself, be honest. It's not easy. And be willing to acknowledge what comes up. Don't try to bury it. Don't try to write it off. Don't try to minimize it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Because if you don't, it's like a weed that just keeps popping up because you didn't deal with the root of the problem. If you just pull out at the stem, you just keep things on a surface level, then you don't get rid of the root, then no matter how many times you cut it off with the stem, it just keeps coming back. Same thing with an issue, with a problem, these reoccurring things. I have a lot on my mind right now. I could really use embracing my self-worth. I could really use some lotion. My hands are so dry from washing my hands so freaking much. I really should just keep a big bottle of lotion near me. Let's celebrate me, but blank has to happen before the party starts. Realizing it always comes back to love. So I'll do 3 more. And I'll just put this up so you can see that for now. So I need to chill the fuck out. Blank would be a good start. Advice from an expert. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with getting outside help. It can save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of frustration. I kind of feel crappy. That's so funny. Just as I was thinking about like, it'll save you time, frustration, everything, I thought about my book that I wrote about dancing, because on the subtitle, it says, tips to save you time, money, energy, and frustration, all the things I wish I had known when I first started my own journey. And then the answer card says reading a book. So funny. Anyway, okay. I feel kind of crappy. Reading a damn book will make me feel a little less out of it. If I have any time, because I'm trying to film a lot of videos today, so that I have a good amount to put out. If I have time though later, I'd like to sit in the bath and read. It's my favorite place to read. And let's see. I'm obsessing about my own shit. Blank will help me get over myself, not letting the excuses win. So that's it. Let's just take a look at our standing cards, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I need to pay attention to my health. Blank will give me motivation to take care of myself. A long fucking nap. Yes, I could actually really, really use a long fucking nap. I got almost no sleep last night. My husband has a ridiculous schedule for his work, and my dogs have a tendency to like to go out in the middle of the night, so they have to wake me up to get out there. You know, so that's always fun. Compassionate detachment. All I want to do is be lazy. Compassionate detachment is what I need in my life. Interesting. All right, so that's it for this deck. In the next review, I will be going over affirmations, creativity. 50 affirmation cards to help yourself without the help. The self-help, I can never, it's like a tongue twister. Let me try again. 50 affirmation cards to help you help yourself without the self-helpiness. Okay, so this is what I'll be reviewing in the next video, which I'm going to film right after this. Okay, until next time, take care and much love. As always, thank you for your time.